Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our day two of Design Thinking Workshop. I am Shruti Agrawal, your host for today's session, powered by GeneQ. Here, we help startups and innovators learn, build, and grow with expert guidance. Today, we move into develop phase, ideate and concept creation, the stage where ideas begin to take shape after understanding problems yesterday. Today is all about exploring possibilities, thinking creatively, and turning insights into meaningful concepts. To lead us through this exciting journey, we are delighted to welcome Mr. Mukesh Kumar Das, an accomplished IT leader with 25 plus years of experience in cloud computing, AI, automation, and scalable infrastructure and architecture. He is a director of Saasvantus Excellence, author of 4 books, and a mentor to multiple startups, including some under the GeneCube ecosystem. He'll be sharing the practical framework to ideate boldly, expand creativity, and convert ideas into testable concepts. So let's warmly welcome Mr. Mukesh Kumar Das. Hello to you, sir.
Hey, hello everyone. Good afternoon, Shruti, Megha, and other participants. Thank you so much for inviting me for these workshops. So today, that as Shruti has given the very beautiful introduction about the design thinking. The title is design thinking, and myself actually already elaborated by the Shruti. So without wasting the time, I would like to go ahead with start these presentations. So, what are the agenda of this workshop? So, when we talk about that one, so title of this workshop is design thinking. So, I started with the what is the introduction of to design thinking. Then the next section we will move for the different stages associated with is a design thinking, and then we are talking about the ideas and stages and techniques. We do have some different other stages, so which is called by the emphasize and design. But ideas and stages we are talking about today, second day workshop in here. Then basically we talk about the what are the different selection method in ideas states, and then we will basically move to how to basically develop or move towards the concept with existing ideas, and finally we conclude the session with the final summary and workshop reps. So let me move and start with the section 1, which is nothing but the introduction to design thinking. And there are so many definition which is given, but mostly when I basically define, I just find the one very similar definition, which basically can design thinking is a method of manage innovations. Design thinking is a method of manage innovations, right? That is the very simple method, so which you can adopt whenever you need it. Later on, you can see the different definitions. The one definition is a design thinking is a way of solving problems by thinking like a user, being creativity and testing ideas until you find the best solutions. Remember what is the key? We need to think about the users and find the best solution from the different ideas, right? So again, it is having the 5 iterative steps like empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Remember, again, I'm using the word iterative. It is not a direct homogeneous, it's basically iterative, and objective is we are basically overall improvement on that one. Let's actually, there is another definition which is given by the Tim Brown, a famous author of the design thinking book. He was saying design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of people, the possibility of the technology, and the requirement for business success. So what he say, we need to integrate the needs of people. We need to understand the pain point of the people, user, or customer, and possibility of the technology, involvement of technology also is there to identify the or meet with the correct business success in here. I'm moving in here now. Basically, mostly our elaboration and discussion towards the startups, right? So why design thinking now? We discuss about that what is defined, what is design thinking, his definition, other aspect. But where it is design thinking applicable? So in nutshell, we can say that design thinking can be applied in everywhere. We can apply in the new product, we can apply in the new services, we can apply in the existing product, and we can apply with the startup scenario on that. So why? Because it's reduce risk, mitigate potential failure through early user testings. Okay, encourage innovation. That is the buzzword. Innovation is the key. Whenever you are the startup company, it is very important. You need to innovate. Otherwise, you will not success in the market. Third, help achieve product market fit. You want to develop the kind of the product that basically meet the market requirement. That is basically necessity of the market, right? And ultimately, who is the customer? We need to improve the our customer satisfaction layers. So now, why design thinking for startups? So one is reduce risk. Number two is encourage innovations. Third is the help achieve product market fit, and fourth is the improve customer satisfactions. Now we discuss about the definition of design thinking, what is design thinking, why it is useful. So what is very important, there are the different stages of the design thinking, which we can, the phases, which we can say that the process, right? So there are the five different key stages of design thinking, five different key phases of the design thinking, and those are known as the empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test, right? So again, I'm repeating: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So what is empathize? Empathize is nothing but understand user's pain point, understand user need, understand user behavior, understand what is their pain point in here. How we'll do that one? We can do the interview, we can do the observation, we can do the research. Okay, we can do the different methods. So that method is quite simpler, and then you can apply that one accordingly. You can find it what is the user needs, what is the pain point. Now the second phase is basically define, right? So now we understand the what is the user behavior. Now in this define phase, basically we are generating or we are creating the root cause analysis of that and problem statements. That is the key. What basically we are doing, we understand the problem, we basically generating the root cause analysis, understand the root cause analysis, and generate the problem statement. Third is ideate. Now this is the idea. So now we know the point, we know the problem statement. Now to solve these problems, right, we need to understand, create the different ideas, right? So generate a wide range of creative solution without judgment. That without judgment is very important. You can generate as much as ideas as per your requirement, as per your problem statements in here. Now, fourth one is the prototypes. Here we need to create the prototypes, build quick, low cost model to visualize and test ideas. So it basically create the platform. It create the some very thin product, right, or prototype where we can basically perform the test in the futures. Now last is not least test. Validate solution with real user and refine based on feedbacks. What is very important, test, right? It is iterative approach. So whenever we perform the test, it first time you perform the test, it might be you find them so many feedback, and accordingly you can feedback you apply in the different stages in here. It remind me the Deming life cycles, the person from the quality cycles. So everyone know the Deming cycle, or it is also known the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, or act. Keep doing that one until you find or until you do the continuous improvement in here. So I hope these five key stages related to design is thinking is clear to everyone. So let's move forward. And now we basically describe the different stages which we discussed just now in the more better way, so that we have the proper understanding in here, right? This is the section 2 and the empathize phase. So now as we know that we do have the five phases or five stages. So that is the empathize, and then we have design, third ideate, prototype, and test it. So we are starting with the empathize stage. Empathize means to deeply understand another person's feeling, thoughts, experience, and problems from their point of view, not yours. So what is very important, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the customers, shoes of the other user, not yours. It is not your point. It is the pain the person, other person, or the user or customer is facing, right? This stage sets the foundation to creating solutions that are truly human-centered in involves. So what it involves is basically understanding. That is a very important everywhere. Understanding the user. You observe, listen, and interact with the user to understand what they need, why they need, and what challenges or point they face, how they behave in the real situation. So that basically kind of the user intervention in here. You need to basically understand the user problem and pain point in here. The second, why it is important. When we talk about the empathize state, why it is important. Empathize ensure you solve the right problem. There might be multiple problems there, but you need to hit the exact problem, right problem, or you need to solve accordingly. Your solution match real user needs, no assumptions, and you build a human-centered design. Now, what are the different methods? We already discussed, and we have most of the people know about that one. That is the user interviews, there's observations, survey, empathy maps, user journey mapping, and role-playing user scenario on that. So these are the some different methods, which is very common. I don't think we need any kind of the expertise to do that one. Mostly we are doing the day-to-day scenario so that we can do this one to particular user also. Now we discuss about the empathize. To understand the more on that one, we need to go through the one example. If you are designing an app for senior citizens, so what is the key in here? That the senior citizens, which we are basically designing the one app. Empathize meaning sitting with them. So you need to sit with them, understanding how much comfortably they use phone, what causes them, and what they wish was easier rather than assuming what they need. So sit with them and understand what is their feeling, what they need, and accordingly you need to take the decisions. Now we move the next stage, and the basically what is this stage producing? It basically produce the problem state, right? The define stage is the second phase of the design thinking process. The define stage means clearly stating the real problem based on what you learned during the empathize phase. We already have the empathize phase. Okay, we understand the user's pain point. We understand the other aspect by performing the interview, by performing the empathy map, by doing the other aspect. So we have all these ideas, right? So why define stage? What is the purpose of define stage, right? So identify the root cause, not just symptoms. Understand what the user truly needs. Third, create a focused problem statement and align the team on the exact problem to solve. So most of the people, those are from the IT industry, service IT industry, they might be aware about the ITR framework, right? That is known as the infrastructure library. So we do have the two things in there. This very common two process. One is named by the incident management, and other is related by the problem management. In incident management, what we need to do basically, we treat the symptoms. It is not mandatory. We need to ensure that whatever the breakdown is happening in the environment to resolve as soon as possible. Hence, we basically treat the symptoms, but we need to understand what problem it is causing if it is a repetitive incident on that. So that basically known as the problem management phases on here. So what define state saying, you need to identify the root cause, not just only symptoms. What happened in design stage? You take all the data from empathize, which you gather by using the interview, observation, and pain points. So first you analyze the finding, identify the pattern, group affinity mapping, define user need and challenge, and ultimately write the problem statement. After doing all these things, you need to write your problem statement. So that is the basically objective and key deliverable from this phase. And output of the design stage, as you all tell, this is the problem statement. Let's understand more by using some example of a define stage example. If during empathize you find user stable to remember build date, due, they fear late fees, they switch between multiple apps, right? So what is the problem? The problem statement is The user needs a simple way to track and pay bills in one place so that they can avoid missing deadlines. Very importantly, the problem statement user is saying, I'm not able to pay my bill on timely. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Once he do multiple things, but he's not able to pay the time, that causing him to extra money to pay as a penalty on that one. So what is the problem statement? In the defined stage, it's basically user need a simple way to track and pay bill in one place so they can avoid missing deadlines. Here comes the ideate stage. So we discuss about the empathize phase, we discuss about the design phase. Now the other stage and phase. Guys, remember I'm using the terminology phase as well as the stage. So both are the same in when we talk about the design thinking stage or phase in here. Okay. So don't be please confused on here. Now the ideate stage, this is number third stage in design thinking, is where you generate a wide range of creative ideas. Remember, wide range of creative ideas and possible solution to problem defined in the defined stage. Okay. It is about thinking freely, exploring possibilities, and not limiting yourself to obvious answer. So it is not, you don't be basically into some particular interval. Think about that one. Okay, this much of ideas thinking. You put whatever is possible. You think how much solution is possible for these problems. Okay, so you bring that ideas in here. The purpose in it. What is this state's purpose? To encourage creative thinking, explore multiple solutions, break away from assumptions, think beyond constraints, prepare concept that can be prototype and something. Very importantly, we do have the another phases after this. This is a prototype and tested. So you need to find the ideas. Those can be prototype and tested. Don't think something 10,000 feet which is not able to prototyping and testing in the later stage in here. What is the output of the ideate stage? You end up with a list of potential solutions, a short listing of promising ideas, concept outline sketches, ideas ready for prototypes. So very important. You have the multiple ideas, okay, but later on you need to come to the some subset of ideas, which can be the list of potential solution. Let's understand the example on the one ideate stage of phase. How might we help students reduce stress during exams? This is the common phenomenon. Whenever the students and all the kids are, it might be applicable to everyone. They feel the stresses, right? So we need to generate the ideas how basically we can reduce the stress of that stakeholders or teen or whatever students in here. So, okay, a focus and relaxation mobile apps, we can basically create the relaxation mobile application. Those student can see and improve his situation. Smart timetable manner, so that basically all these courses and everything can be available there, and then he can basically create the timetable according to subject wise. AI-based revision chatbot is mostly used, right? And it help during the revision of the students. Gaming break, in the break, if you want someone he or she wants to or student want to take the break, right, he can play and then get out from the stress levels. Peer study matching platform. So these are the some ideas, right? What is very important, we do have the what is a problem statement in here. Basically student feel the stresses, okay, and basically how we help. And then for the help in the design thinking, we do have them some ideas, ideate phase, and we have this 4 and 5 different ideas. Those basically can help the students to get out from their stress. Prototype stage, now it is the next fourth stage during the design thinking process. The prototype stage where you create simple, low cost, early version of your idea so they can explore, zone, and test it. What, as I discussed earlier, we need to bring such ideas in the place which basically we can convert into the move into the prototype stage. Okay, it's not a product, it's not a final product, it must be a cheaper as well as a lightweight in the natures, right? A prototype is not a product, final product, it is a draft simple model used to learn. And very importantly, prototype stage This prototype is where we can perform the test in the later. So now, what is the purpose of prototype stage? Converts idea into tangible forms, quickly test whether an idea works or not, identify flaw, gaps, or improvements, get user feedback early, reduce risk and cost before full development of the products. If you develop the whole the product, if you put all the money, so it will be not worth, right? Depending on the prototype, depending on the project, prototype may include low fidelity, cheap and quick, and more realistic. Remember, when we talk about the high fidelity, it is quite costlier as compared to the low fidelity in here. What happens in the prototype stage? We do have the multiple ideas, right? So we need to select the best idea or two or three best idea. Either might be one or either will be multiple ideas from the ideate stage. Create sample models or and then basically we need to mock-ups. Okay, we do have the simple models, we create that one and we do perform the mock-up, show them to users, right? So my intent is user who is having some kind of the problem statement who is going to utilize that one. We need to show this is the my prototype. Let me know, okay, what is the problem, and observe them how user interact with them. You need to take the feedback, okay, collect feedback from the improvement. Again, I am saying the design thinking. All the phases are iterative in the nature. Output of the prototype stage, a refined tested version of your concept, clear insight, direction of the test stage, invest improve before investing time or money. Now the final stage is test steps. You have the your pain point, you have the your problem statement, you have your ideas, and now you have the prototypes. So what I need to do? Everything is there in the place. Okay, I understand the pain point, I understand the problem statement, I generated a different ideas. Ultimately, I need to develop the product. Ultimately, I need to improve my services, right? So now I do go to the test stage and then I check whether my prototype is working in the test stage or not. In this stage, you to the prototypes you develop and test them to real users to understand. Using the word the real user, those are going to use that one. Okay. Its purpose validate your ideas and prototypes, identify usability issues and misunderstanding. If there is some challenges, if you, that not meeting the actual requirement, right? You need to identify, learn how user behave in real life situations, collect insight to improve or redesign the prototypes. My prototype is there, my product is there, test product is there. So I need to understand how can you improve. So that's we need to get the feedback in here. So what is the output of the test? It validate prototypes, list of improvement and insight, better understanding your user expectations. Now we have completed all the fourth stage. Also, we define what is the test stage. So we need to understand the example of test stage. What we do. If your prototype is mobile apps, to understand my prototype is basically mobile apps. So we need to check, okay, what application you do have, what basically methodology or framework. As user perform X first, please go. You need to ask the user, okay, you log in, you search and you check out. Watch if they complete them without confusion. Let's see whether they are able to complete, whether he or she able to complete properly or not. Now you understand where the problem is there. Okay. Accordingly, you note down the problem in here and then you apply in this. So this is the common phenomenon of all the test tubes. So this basically we talk as of now we talk about the design thinking definitions, now different stages, right? And I just want to complete wrap up this session our discussion about what is a summary. Design thinking is a human-centered creative problem-solving approach used to understand users, right? First two stage, generate idea, ideate stage, build solution and improve them through feedback, which cover prototype as well as the test phases. It focuses on the solve the right problem in the right way. It is having the five. Again, we discuss about all these five stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So again, I just want to elaborate more. Empathize means understand. people, understand users, define means identify the real problem, create the problem statement, ideate, third stage, generate different idea, multiple idea without any interruptions. If person, we don't have any kind of the foundation in here. Whatever the idea he can generate, he or she can generate. So that is the idea. Fourth one is the prototype, create a simple models, right? Which basically must be in a lightweight, where basically we can patient in the cost wise and user friendly. And finally, what we do develop in the prototype that need to be the test. Okay, so this basically covered our two session. One is related to design thinking phase proper definition, and second the different phases of design thinking. Let's move the most interesting part of these sections. So that this is the second day workshop in here, the most focus that we need to give on the ideation stage on them. So now I'm moving to the section 3, which basically describe the whatever the different techniques we do have for the ideation stage. So now everyone now get the clarity about what is the ideation in here. And ideation is the creative stage for design thinking. Okay, it focuses on generating wide range of idea, and everything in it encourage quantity over quality. And what is very important, I'm using, there is a no binding. It should be, it must be, when you are basically working the idea stage, it must be basically open thinking, open mindset. Okay, what are the rules now when we are generating the idea? So we must have some kind of the rules, quantity over quality. You basically work and generate as much as ideas possible. It is not you need to pipe 10 as much as possible. No criticism. There are the different level of people are there. I just want to use the word the stakeholders, right? So multiple user people are there. So whatever the idea is coming, it should not be go through any kind of a criticism. It should be a full flow, pre-flow accordingly. Build on ideas. It might be possible you have the own ideas and you build that new idea based on these ideas. That is also perfectly okay. Think widely. Don't think in the narrow way. Think as much as possible, right? So when we do the ideas, so what is the four key point we need to remember? Quantity over quality, no criticism. Third, build on ideas, and fourth, think widely. So I hope as of now, I think these three different phases are quite clear for everyone. So an idea stage is clear. What is the definition? Idea stage, so what are the different rule we need to adopt in here? Now we are coming to point we basically idea stage. So we need to understand how basically we generate the different idea. That is a very important. Okay, we know the what is the idea, what need to do in this case, so what is the different route, but we must know whatever the different level of ideation technique is available. By using them, we can basically create the ideas, right? So there are, as of now, I'm covering in this session the 8 different ideation techniques, started by brainstorming. First, scamper techniques. Number 2, crazy attach techniques, mind mapping, role storming, reverse thinking, 10x thinking, analogous inspirations. So as of now, I will go one by one from all these ideas and techniques. What are they? And different example, because it is very important. So please give the full attention in here. Okay. So again, I'm telling here basically we are going to cover the different 8 ideas and technique, started by brainstorming, scamper, crazy, mind mapping, role storming, reverse, 10x thinking, analogous. Okay, so let's start with the brainstorming. That is the most popular one in here. This is the other way which I represent this one, ideas and techniques. So brainstorming. Okay, mostly whenever we have any problems, so whether it's a problem in the family, whether it's a problem in the office, whether it's a problem in the somewhere else, we most of the people sit together and try to find out the solution for that problems, right? So that is nothing but the brainstorming. So nothing new. We are keep doing that one. Okay. So let me come to the example or this definitions. Brainstorming techniques are structured method used to generate a large number of creative ideas in a short times. In a short time, it is not like that you are sitting on the one problem and generating the idea for 100 days, 200 days. No, particular hours, particular days depend upon your problems. You need to basically define the brainstorming. They help team think, really explore different viewpoint and come up with the innovation. The purpose is to open up creativity, encourage participation, and discover new possibility during the ideation stage of design things. So what is very important, creativity, and as well as you need to basically increase the different participation and come with the this ideas. Now, let's take the one example of the brainstorming. I hope the brainstorming technique is clear to everyone. So get the more clarity on here. Let's take the one example of brainstorming techniques in here. How to reduce waiting time in hospitals. Most of the times we are going to hospital, and if we are sick, if we are the normal state also, but definitely we do have some kind of the problem. So mostly we want to as soon as to meet with the doctors and waiting time to be reduced less in here. So what are the different ideas to reduce it? First, online appointment booking. Okay, mostly people are all hospitals, state of the art hospital already adopted that one. Priority tokens for citizens, senior citizens. Okay, self checks in kiosk, and WhatsApp update on queue status. Suppose you can get that, okay, there's very high in 10, 20 people in the queue, okay, and some WhatsApp status, okay, after 10 minutes, your terms is coming, so please be alert and come. Okay. So we discuss about the brainstorming, right? And another important techniques, one of the important technique is the scamper technique, right? The scamper technique is basically is apply to existing product, existing services by answering the 7 questions, right? And that 7 questions is basically start with the S stand for substitute, C stand for combine, A stand for adapt, M stand for modify, P stand for put to another one, E stand for eliminate, or R stand for rearrange. Okay, so Scamper is basically built on all these 7 questions. And again, I just want to repeat: substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, and rearrange. So what does this mean? Okay. When I talk about the substitutes, replace part of the product or process with something else. Substitutes, right? It's quite understandable. Replace part of the product or process with something else. Combine, join two ideas, materials, or function together. Combining, adapt, adjust, or change something to fit a new purpose. Modify, change the product size, shape, color, or forms to improve it. What happened? We need to generate the different ideas, right? And now put to another use the ideas to product in a new ways. Okay, this is the one, my table is there. I just want to use to some different purpose on that, right? To improve the enhancement. Last, eliminate what we can remove, right? That is the waste associated with this, right? And last is rearrange or reverse. So I think to get the better quality, I just want to take a like, example which is based on the techniques and how basically we build the multiple ideas using this one. So my product is here, existing product, school backpacks, right? I already have a school backpack. If you guys are basically sitting in there, right? So I appreciate if everyone basically writing the three ideas based on the different questions. Now, let me basically elaborate more on that. The first is my substitutes. Okay. So I have the backpack, which I basically to improvement, I need to create the apply the scamper in here. So now first is substitutes. So what can we replace to improve the backpack? What we can do to we replace to improve the backpack. So what we can do? I do have the replace cloth with waterproof material, replace zipper with magnetic locks. Okay, so these are the two ideas in here by using the first word from this campus. Okay, so number two is combined. What we combine, right? By looking into the my product, which is nothing but a school backpack, right? What new feature can be combined, right? So I have the combined backpack. I can use USB charger. I can add this one, okay, and then I can make it a foldable stool. So these are the two ideas. Third is adapt. How can we adapt the backpack of new user or situations? Adapt for hot weathers, okay, adapt for travelers, okay, built-in ventilation, detachable mini bags. These are ideas. Modify, what can we change in the shape, color, or appearance of this one. Put in another use, right? I'm already using is a backpack, right? As a school backpack. What else we can do? I can use as an emergency pillow. I can use a portable table on that one. So these are the other one. Illuminate. Okay, I think this product is a bit bulky, right? I want to more improve his product. What I can do? That is the another word, another question, which is known as the eliminate with the E, right? What can we remove to simplify and improve it? Remove heavy metal frames, eliminate unnecessary inner dividers. Now R, there's the rearrange reverse. Reverse opening, front page design, and rearrange strap position for comfort. We need to do some kind of the change. We can do reverse technology. So what happened? I have the 7 and I basically created the, by using this crumper technique, I created the 14 ideas, right? I told you to please do the exercise and create the ideas 3, right? So 7 into 3, how many ideas you guys, an audience can generate or the student can generate? They can generate the 21 ideas on that one, okay? So now you do this workshop, right? You identify the product which you basically want to improve that one. So you basically build the team and everyone basically based on these 7 questions develop 2 and 3 or 3 ideas on that one. So you will have the 21 ideas accordingly, okay, for one person. And out of these 21 ideas, you can basically use 2 and 3 ideas to take it forward to portile levels. I think it is one of the very good scrambler techniques to use in the idea generations. Just taking the 1 minute break in here. Next idea is basically crazy ATEX techniques. So crazy ATEX is a rapid ideation exercise used in design thinking to force creative under time constraints. 8 ideas in 8 minutes. Very simple when someone say what is crazy ATEX techniques. So 8 idea in 8 minutes. Okay. Take each participant fold a seat in, take the one seat, each participant fold a seat into different 8 sections. Okay, you have the each set a timer for 8 minutes, quickly script one idea per section. You have the problems. Okay, now you have the one problems, so you have the one seat, and that is basically divide the 8 sections. So quickly write the 8 section fast, 8 minutes you need to complete all these ideas. Okay, so what happened, why it is powerful? Because it is very fast and open-mindedly and innovative in here. Innovation is here. Let's stick. Design a better login screen for a mobile. Design a better login screen. I just give the problem statement. This example I'm showing. Give a one-tab login, social login. I just create the one sheet and divide the 8 section and then generate the 8 ideas. Okay. One is, and what is the my problem statement? Design a better login screen for a mobile. So one tap login, social login, face ID, OTP login, magic ID. These are the some 8 or ideas basically you generated using that one. Later on, whichever one you find good, you can utilize that. Mind mapping. Mind mapping is a visual ideation tool in design to so what we need to do in here, what is our problem statement? Basically, we need to keep it the middle of the your work. Okay, this is the my problem statement. Now different branches of this problem statement. And in these branches, what are the solutions? Okay. So I just want to explain very simply. One guy, he want to one Swiggy, basically he want to improve online food delivery experience on that one. So okay, so where basically he think about how to improve. So first he can think about the quality, that is the one classification. Second is the delivery time. Third is the ordering process, and fourth is the customer supports. So these are the basically four key areas, okay, that he can to look into this. Okay. Now these are the problem statement, problematic areas. So how I can resolve that one? You jotted down one by one. So you can find up here. You can find the 16th right ideas on that one. You can implement whatever the best two and three ideas in the later. Role storming techniques. This is the quite very simple in here. They are the different people. They have the different mindset, right? Different participant is there. One might be a student is there. One might be a teacher is there. One might be a principal is there, and one might be the sponsor is there. So everyone think different. Okay, same thing. There will role. One is the founder, user, investor, even competitors. So take the ideas from everyone, right, of the your problem statement. So different idea will become, and you find the most appropriate in the later to apply in the prototypes. Okay. So now the problem statement is here. A school want to reduce the waiting time in the cafeteria during lunch breaks. Okay. And now problem my scenario is there. School wants to reduce the waiting time in the cafeteria during lunch break. So I need to basically do the role storming for the idea generation for this problem statement. So I created the multiple role. One is the school principal, second is the cafeteria chef, third is the students, parents, technology experts. Everyone start thinking according to their ways. Let them they write all the ideas, one, two, three. So you generate the 7, 8, 15, 20 ideas on that one. Later on, you select two and three ideas, which is basically you like more impactful in the future to move towards the prototypes. Okay. Reverse thinking. I think it's something very interesting on that one. Most of the time, when we basically thinking about the problem, we think about the positive direction. What reverse thinking? Don't think about the positive direction. Think about the reverse direction. Okay, one app is there. So how we make this app to it work in the very worst way. So once we identify, okay, this is the problem that is creating the problem. So again, I think about that one, how basically we can improve there. We can see the one example in here very easily. A company wants to improve customer satisfaction for its online shopping applications. So there might be some challenges and complain, whatever the customer satisfaction, they still perform the C side. People are not happy with their companies to customer satisfaction for online shopping apps. So they need to do some kind of the exercise to basically increase of this problem statement. So what they do, how can we improve the customer satisfaction in our apps? Reverse the problem. Think, okay, what worst my online app can do? Make the app is very slow and responsive. High important button like checkout is not there, right? Delay delivery intentionally, ignore customer complaint, so recommendation, add necessary. So these are the reverse thinking. Okay, what worst can be happened? What worst can happen with the that particular application, that's online shopping application, and then go and then think about the different way. Okay, now you're thinking the reverse. So now you find out the what is the solution for that one. If my app is slow, improve app speed and performance. That is the one solution. Hide checkout, check at the checkout button. So like that one, we do have the 7 8 different ideas about the my problem statement. Later on, take it and solve this. 10s thinking is basically is thinking which is related to the increase in the scalable instead of that one some persistent labels. Okay, so I have one product. I don't have the thinking very narrow level. I think the higher level, how I can improve this product 10 times instead of that one, the 10% on that. Okay, so I just want to explain the example for this, right? Food delivery times take Swiggy guy. Food delivery times take 40 minutes on average. Normal I'm getting the food in the 40 minutes. In 14 minutes, that kind we create the customer satisfaction, unsatisfaction. So how to improve? So normally what, okay, I will go and how can I do the 10% improvement in here, right? So I can basically do the thing, add some more people, optimize, change the routes or improve packaging, something I do. But that is basically very small improvement, right? It is not basically tennis thinking approach. I need to ensure that approach. I think no, I don't think about the food to go in the time 40 minutes. I need to think about the food to go in the 5 minutes. Okay. So what I need to do for that, we need to think about the ideas. So now, what are the ideas in here? For this food delivery, taking so much time on that. Cloud kitchen, predictions, food lockers, drones delivery, ready to eat more. But what happened in here? Costing is very important. And some of the pizza companies, it's already implement that one as of now. Analogous inspiration techniques. So what happened? I need to borrow or I need to take some kind of the ideas from the different existing industry which is already running, already tested in here. Okay. I am from the one industry and think I'm from the IT industry and I am taking the that idea from the same kind of the problem from the manufacturing industry. So I think we can explain better in here. Hospital struggle with slow and confusing patient check-in at the receptions, right? So what happened? So immediately strike, okay, where basically check-in system is very good. So it basically nothing but the airline. So what a hospital will go, it will go and inspire the solution from taking the airport self check-in kiosk on that one. So what are the ideas? Self check-in kiosk for patient, scan Aadhaar card, receive token number automatically, reduce queue. So what happened? It is why it is kind of the analogous inspiration technique because the problem is in the hospital, but it basically borrowed or taken from the airport self check-in industries. So, guys, we discuss about the different techniques in here, ideation technique from where by using that we can basically generate the different ideas. Now, the other factor is that we need to move forward in the section 4 that is basically related to idea selections methods. So we have the ideas and now we have the multiple ideas. Why technique selection matter? Different problem need different thinking styles, startups, balance, simple. Now think about we do have the multiple ideas, but we need to apply which idea is good for me. So think in case of the rapid ideas, I need to generate the idea in very rapid manner. The crazy attacks. 8 ideas in 8 minutes. Okay. Improve existing solution. So remember, word is here existing. So existing products, scamper. Okay. Break assumption. Something is totally different. Reverse thinking. Think big. Don't think in the some percentage levels. I just want to improve in the 5 times, 10 times, 8 times. So which one is there? 10x. Understand relationships. That is the mind mapping. Okay. Convergent thinking after ideations. Now we basically focus on many ideas. We basically generated many ideas, but we cannot go with all the ideas. We need to have the some important one or two ideas. Those can go for the my prototypes. Okay, so that is the convergent thinking. It refers to the process of narrowing down ideas after the ideation stage. While ideation encourages generating a wide range of creating solution, divergent thinking, it is divergent convergence against the divergence. In ideation stage, we have the divergence thinking, create as much as ideas, right? But now we need to basically ensure that to move forward for prototypes. So we do have either one or two ideas only, best ideas, which basically meet my problem statement and give the optimal solution for that one. Okay. So we do have the different methods. So most widely used are dot voting and feasibility versus impact metrics. So what is here? We are basically reducing or narrow downing the ideas. I do have the 100 ideas. I just want to two or three, one or two. Which ideas I can take it forward to the my prototype. So how to select that one? That is the one voting, and second is the feasibility versus impact voting. Dot voting is very simple. Okay, multiple participant is there. Give the 3 to 5 points to them. Dot is into there. Okay, and accordingly, basically you tell, okay, these are the my ideas, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Which ideas you find most appropriate? That one, give the voting for that, right? Big boss is going on, correct? So okay, these are the different participation. Okay, this guy is having, you give this guy to vote, 1 vote, 2 vote, 3, same thing in here. Okay, and who is having the most number of voting, he is the winner. The same thing is here. Basically, whatever the ideas get the most vote, he will basically a candidate for the prototypes. Okay, hope it is clear as of now. Another, which basically impact or feasibilities matrix 2 by 2. Most of the mathematical student might be aware about that. What is the matrices in here, right? The simple 2 by 2 grid basically we created, and basically depend upon the impact on feasibilities. So this problem statement is creating the most impact, and the feasibility according to it get the high rating. Okay, so now I'm putting them in x-axis, I put the feasibility, and y-axis, I create the impact. Okay. So now, first, high impact and high feasibility is basically quick win. The impact, where is the very high, and feasibility is the high, that is basically quick win. That is the candidate for the ideas to go ahead, right? High impact, low feasibility. That is a long-term bet in here. Okay. Low impact and high feasibility, low hanging fruit. Low impact, low feasibility. So definitely don't go for that one. This one is basically you need to drop. You need to basically focus on the primary statement, which basically based on the high impact or high feasibility, which is basically here, first quadrant, left side, upper quadrant, and that is indicated to be the quick wins. I have created that one. So, okay, and then some ideas. So these two are the real-time queue startup set and self-check-in kiosk, especially the hospital, this queuing system, waiting systems experience. Okay, so that is the Q1 quadrant in here. So that is the winner, clear winner here, because it is doing the high impact and high feasibility in here. So that will move to the my prototype stage. Okay. So guys, so we basically discuss about the different ideas, and here now concept development is here. Basically, what is concept, right? A concept, a clear structure explanation of the potential solution to be used. We do have the problem statement. What is the solution? We have the ideas. Now we basically narrow down into that idea. So that art itself is the qualification for the concept, right? So when we say the concept, what it must include? It must include my problem statement. What is my problem with the product, target users, proposed solution, key features, user benefits, and now strong concept. Now I just want to, now when we basically do the design thinking, it basically phases manner, right? We know the 5 different stages, but workflow, I can say that one is the user flow, that is the empathize phase, insight, design phase, idea. The concept card basically is there, to where basically we put the concept. User journey, you basically develop some product concept, ensure that how it is mapping with the user requirement, that is come inside the user journey as a storyboard. And later we need to move to the low fidelity prototypes. What should be go in your concept card? So these are the things, these are the attribute, those should go with the concept card in here. Okay, these are the one good example, right? I basically talk about that different concept card in here. So one is, it must have the problem, target, idea summary, how it was, key feature, value proposition, risk and assumption, and next steps. So whenever you create the concept card, it's very important. All these factors is there. So I have just given the one example, and then basically with how to create the concept card related to this your problem statement. Urban customers miss grocery delivery due to timing, right? So answer is very simple. Generate 24/7 lockers that where you keep that grocery. Okay, and whenever the user free, he can keep that one. But what is very important, we need to provide the temperature zone, secure OTP, app integration. Why secure temperature zones? It's very clear. Ensure that my grocery will be or stuff vegetable will be properly not damaged or secure. OTP is there to got the notification. Okay, your product has been basically kept in the particular lockers. Concept validation. So I just do the basically concept. Now I create that one. So whether how to validate that concept. What happened? We do have the pain point in here. We do have the problem statement in there. We do have the idea is there. And once we do have the idea is there, we basically do reduce the funnel and just create it to these ideas, one or two important ideas, which is become part of concept. So how to validate this concept, right? Concept is meeting my requirement before going to prototype. Concept validation is the process of checking whether your proposed solution actually work for real user before you invest time and money into the full development. So we do have the different kind of the methods for concept validation, and they are just like a journey mapping, user journey mapping, storyboarding, low fidelity prototype, and feedback interview. So most of them are a self-explanatory, user-generic. So you have the concept to ensure that how the user is working, it should basically align with the user requirement. That is basically known as the user journey. And second is the storyboarding. Storyboarding for concept clarity is the technique used during the concept development statements of design thinking to visually communicate how a proposed solution work in the real life user scenario. To basically align or check with that whether it is working your concept in the real time scenario or not. That is called the story building. Low fidelity types. Now, what happened? Now we ideas. Now we develop the concept. We validate the concept. So what we need to do? I need to define the my prototypes. Okay, and that prototype can be the low fidelity type because prototype are why low fidelity prototype because we need to less expensive product in here, less time taken product in here. Because in case if I'm getting some kind of the feedback in the testing, I can implement that one and I can improve in here. So that's basically coming the low fidelity prototypes. Concept evolution checklist. So a concept should be able to desirable, feasible, viable, usability, and scalability, right? So desirability, what this means? Do you user I really want it? Can we build it? And will it sustain itself? Will use adopt it? Or can it grow? So they are the 4 and 5. So when basically the three desirability, feasibility, and viability, these are the three very important factors. So you need to bring the three circle in here like that one. And intersection of that particular section is give the viable solution in here. So, guys, thank you so much. Okay, I think we are running the time, right? Wow, 1 minute left. So, really appreciate your time and effort on that one. So, what we cover as of now, we think about the design thinking is human centered and iterative. Again, I'm saying should be human centered as well as the iterative and ideations, right? Keep taking should be a quantity instead of the quality. Okay. Use structure techniques to generate ideas, concept development bridges, ideas and prototype on there. Okay. So I really appreciate all of your times. Okay. So and we are completing on the test. Thank you so
Thank,
much, Shruti and Megha. Okay. Thanks.
thank you so much, sir. It's just one question from Abhay, which is like kind of very interesting question. So, what if we made the prototype and we tested it?
What is
Uh, what if we made the prototype and we tested it, but what creates the major difference between a successful product and a flop idea?
the successful? See what happened most whenever we develop the any product is depend upon the always remember PDA cycle, Deming cycle, plan, do, check, or act, right? It is basically not clear or not improve. First time you basically clear the 100% product, right? You basically keep generating that one, keep getting the feedback from users, right? And that is basically PDCI plan to check it. You generate some product, but later on you get some product in here, right? So what is important in here? Your product, you are not developing the one shot perfect product in here. You know that all the product those in the market, right? They are able to sustain if we get the feedback, if the company organization are key able to basically apply the feedback and keep doing the testing. That is the continual improvement, right? That is the buzzword to ensure that the successful product will be there.
Okay, sir. So now we are at the end of this session. So again, thank you so much, sir, for being here, for giving the valuable insights and practical strategies which you have shared today. So on behalf of GeneQ, we truly appreciate your time and guidance. And to all the participants, thank you for joining. We look forward to seeing you in our upcoming sessions. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.